Charlie Munger built a $2 billion fortune. He could have bought Ferraris, yachts, and mansions all over the world. Instead, he lived in the same modest Pasadena home for 70 years and never owned a luxury car. At Berkshire Hathaway's 2003 annual meeting, he explained why, like Warren, I had a considerable passion to get rich. Not because I wanted Ferraris, I wanted the independence. I desperately wanted it. Today, I'm breaking down why Munger believed money should buy freedom, not status, and how this single mindset shift can transform your financial life. Let's be clear about what independence meant to Charlie Munger. It wasn't about never working again. It wasn't about traveling the world. It wasn't about impressing people. Independence meant control over his time and decisions without financial pressure forcing unwanted compromises. After graduating from Harvard Law School in 1948, Munger co-founded the law firm Munger, Tolles & Olson in Los Angeles. He was successful. He was making good money, but he quickly realized something critical. Practicing law wasn't the path to true financial independence. Why? Because as a lawyer, you trade time for money. No matter how much you charge per hour, there are only so many hours in a day. You're building someone else's fortune, not your own. Investing offered something different, the ability to make money work for you instead of working for money. So Munger made a pivot that would define his life. He left his legal career and focused on building wealth through investing. This wasn't about greed. It was about freedom. The freedom to choose what projects to work on. The freedom to say no to clients he didn't respect. The freedom to spend time with his family. The freedom to read, think, and make decisions on his own terms. That's what money bought him, not luxury autonomy. Here's how you know if you're building wealth for the right reasons. Munger called it the independence test, but I call it the Ferrari test. Ask yourself, if someone gave you a Ferrari tomorrow, would your life actually improve? You'd get attention. People would look at you at stoplights. Some would be impressed, others envious. You'd pay more for insurance, maintenance, and parking. You'd worry about scratches and theft. But would you be freer? Would you have more control over your time? Would you make better decisions? Would you be happier? No. You'd have a depreciating asset that demands attention and resources. Now ask yourself, if someone gave you enough invested capital to generate $100,000 per year in passive income, would your life improve? Absolutely. You could quit the job you hate. You could work on projects that matter to you. You could spend more time with family. You could pursue opportunities without worrying about next month's rent. That's the difference between status wealth and freedom wealth. Munger understood this at a molecular level. He lived in the same California home for 7 decades. Not because he couldn't afford better, but because upgrading wouldn't have made him freer. In his final interview with CNBC in 2023, Munger said, "We are both smart enough to have watched our friends who got rich build these really fancy houses. And I would say in practically every case, they make the person less happy, not happier." He elaborated, "Having a basic house really helps you. Having a really fancy house, it's good for entertaining 100 people at once. It's a very expensive thing to do, and it doesn't do you that much good." Munger made a conscious decision not to live like the Duke of Westchester or something. He worried that an extravagant lifestyle would spoil his children and teach them the wrong values about money. Warren Buffett shares this philosophy. He's lived in the same Omaha house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He considers it one of his best investments, not because it appreciated, but because it allowed him to focus on what mattered. So how do you build this kind of freedom? Munger had specific advice. Get to $100,000 in invested capital as fast as possible. In a 2017 talk at the University of Michigan, Munger said reaching that first $100,000 isn't just a number, it's about gaining options. It's the sum that gives you breathing room to switch careers, start a business, or simply have peace of mind. Here's why that number matters. Once you have $100,000 invested, compound growth starts to do the heavy lifting. Even at a modest 10% annual return, that $100,000 could grow to $675,000 over 20 years without adding another dollar. but getting there requires discipline that most people don't have. Munger was blunt about this. The people who get the extraordinary outcomes are those with discipline, intelligence, good virtue, plus a hell of a lot of luck. Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say you need a high salary. He didn't say you need to start a tech company. He didn't say you need insider information or sophisticated trading strategies. You need discipline, the ability to save and invest consistently instead of spending on status symbols. You need intelligence, not genius-level IQ, but the wisdom to avoid stupid financial mistakes. You need good virtue, patience, honesty, and the ability to delay gratification. And yes, you need luck. Munger admitted, "I didn't intend to get rich. I wanted to get independent. I just overshot. But here's what you can control: your savings rate, your investment choices, and your spending decisions." Let me end with the most important lesson from Munger's philosophy. Money is not an end goal. It's a tool to build the life you want. Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec, who learned directly from Munger, said, "In all our discussions about wealth and money, I never remember him saying how he wanted to make a lot of money. Money is not an end goal. It's a tool to be mastered to build the life that you want. This distinction is everything. If money is your goal, you'll never have enough. There will always be someone richer, someone with a bigger house, someone with a nicer car. You'll spend your life chasing a target that keeps moving. But if money is a tool for independence, you can calculate exactly how much you need. You can reverse engineer your freedom number, the amount of invested capital required to generate enough passive income to cover your lifestyle. For some people, that's $500,000. For others, it's $2 million. But here's what it's not. It's not $50 million so you can buy a yacht you'll use twice a year. Munger lived this philosophy until he died at 99. He had billions, but he prioritized reading, thinking, and spending time with people he respected over acquiring more stuff. At the 2010 Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting, Munger shared one final piece of wisdom. The first rule of a happy life is low expectations. If you have unrealistic expectations, you're going to be miserable. Don't expect money to make you happy. Don't expect a Ferrari to make you fulfilled. Don't expect a mansion to give your life meaning. Expect money to give you independence. Expect it to buy you time. Expect it to give you control over your decisions. That's what money is for. That's what Charlie Munger understood. And that's what changed my life.